This is my daughter, very famous in New York.
No, I'm a journalist.
Yes, for the rich and the famous.
I talk to famous people. That does not make me famous.
What Jew goes to Poland as tourist?
You and Mom never talked about the past. So I wanted to see where you grew up.
I couldn't sleep. The bed was so lumpy. It's good for the sex, you know, but not for the sleeping.
Dad, don't. Love your background, Jeff. You're right there in the place where it all happened.
I had to do it upright this morning, Lena. How are you?
I'm loving it. It is a pleasure.
Oh man, it's so nice to meet you. And congratulations on a wonderful film. It's got
Thank you.
love, affection, tragedy. I mean, humor. It's just got everything in it. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Well, this is a father-daughter road trip, tracing the family history, an emotional roller coaster. It is a trip to remember. What do they discover about each other along the way?
I mean, I think that, I got the opportunity to work with the incredible Stephen Fry, who played Edek, his character, with so much empathy and beauty. And I think that his daughter, Ruth, who I play, learns just why her father has been keeping so much of his pain so close to the chest. And he learns just why it's so important for her to understand who she is and where she comes from. And in being able to move towards her and share, he releases something. And in being able to understand his own hesitance in telling her the truth of what he endured, she's able to have empathy for her father. And I really think the movie is deeply, of course, about the Holocaust, the Jewish experience. It's also deeply about transgenerational trauma in every form. And I hope that people who have experienced transgenerational trauma, no matter their religious or ethnic background, can feel a connection to this story. But this movie's also very much about the moment when you realize that your parents are humans, that they're not gods, that they did the best that they could with what they had. And I think we all come to that at a different moment. Some people have to learn it way too early. Some people learn it, when they're 60. But I love that this movie looks at that dynamic. And I think as somebody who is very, very close to my parents and also part of an active, loving, and intense Polish Jewish American family, that this felt like an important story for me to get the chance to tell.
And I love how Ruth is a journalist, and her claim to fame is that she interviewed the Rolling Stones,
One time. One time, which her father continues to go around saying, it made me laugh so hard when he says, "You're famous." And she's like, "No, I just interview famous people." Like a parent's ability to brag is, especially a Jewish father's ability to brag, is unmatched.
Because I say that all the time. People go, "Oh my gosh, we're so famous." I go, no, I speak to famous people. I'm not famous, so I really related with that line.
But by the way, you know what? You probably have more interesting stories as a result of that. Like I've always been fascinated by journalism. It's something that I think I think every writer, journalism is such a huge source of inspiration. And I also have been lucky enough to talk to some really amazing journalists. And I loved trying to tap it. I loved trying to imagine Ruth frustrated walking up and down the stairs at a junket.
Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. Now, let me ask you this. You're the producer on this film, but this is the first project you didn't write and direct. Was it easy for you to kind of let someone else be in the director's chair? Or you're always in the back of your mind, you're thinking, I would have done it this way, or, it just comes naturally, right?
Julia is an amazing filmmaker, and I trust her. And I think for me, the chance to just focus on playing this character was actually thrilling. And I don't want to say it was a vacation, because it was still the deep emotional work of trying to do right by Julia. But I love just entrusting her with the story. I will say, I mean, she is so brilliant. And I feel like my job as a producer, and I produce this with my producing partner, Michael P. Cohen, my job as a producer is just exactly what I would want as a director, which is to try to surround someone with the resources as they need to tell the story that they want to tell. And to basically, as an actor, just try to not fuck it up. And so we're going to be producing more projects that don't necessarily come from my mind and pen. And we really strive to at our company to embrace a variety of voices and a variety of kinds of vehicles. And I feel like I was really lucky early in my career to be supported by amazing producers. And that's something that I feel like very blessed to be able to just give back a little of.
Yeah, pay it forward. So
That's the goal.
yes. Well, congratulations on an emotional film. And I think it's going to speak to a lot of people, a lot of discussion. And I appreciate your time this morning. Thank you so much.
It means the world. Thank you so much.